Wow, Kushada was a blast to watch, really from start to finish. One of my favorite parts of the episode, perhaps my favorite part of the episode, was watching two confident, capable, powerful female lawyers battling it out at work. But the two most significant things that occurred in the episode are the turn that Kim took and the introduction of Lalo. So let's talk about Kim's turn and why Lalo is such a significant character. Hey, I'm G, and this is the G-Spot. When I saw Kim smoking outside of the office that Jimmy was looking at, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Kim's first introduction in the series, the first time we see her talking with Jimmy, is in the parking garage of HHM smoking a cigarette. But we have not seen Kim in this position for quite some time. So is this turn from Kim completely out of the blue? If we look back through the seasons, we see that Kim has had this side to her. She has seemed to try to keep it under wraps. We could describe this side of Kim as Giselle. This is what the gold pineapple cork that Kim takes out of her desk drawer is about. It is from one of the cons that they pulled. And Kim did have fun as Giselle. So we have seen signs from Kim in the past that she does have this part of her personality, but throughout this season, it seemed like she was getting her act together and finding a way to be happy and balanced at work. Just a few episodes ago, Jimmy proposing for Kim to play the role of Giselle, and she gave Jimmy a hard no to it. We see the first change from Kim in this episode when she's working and she has her headphones on. If you remember, it was only a few episodes ago when Jimmy wanted to watch Dr. Zhivago, and Kim had to excuse herself from the room because it was too much noise. And now in this episode, we see her rocking out to some music while she was working. The second sign of Kim's change is when she comes out of the courtroom after talking to Suzanne. She took Jimmy to the stairwell and just absolutely attacked him. So this was definitely like a drug-like experience for Kim. She really got off on this con that they played in a legal courtroom. It was a really huge risk that Kim took by all means. Jimmy stresses this when he comes out to talk to her in the end and tells her how much he appreciates what she did because he knows how much was put at risk, and she got off on this risk. I'm not sure if Kim is just going through something, if she's going to work through this, or if Kim has made a full turn. If Kim does decide to stay on this path, it's actually going to bring her and Jimmy a lot closer together and make the split that is eventually going to come, because we know that they are going to split, even harder on the both of them. There still is this power shift in the relationship that we noticed occurred in the last episode. Jimmy was apologetic and extremely appreciative to Kim throughout the episode. And in the end, it's not Jimmy who says that he wants to pull another con, it's Kim. I thought Jimmy was gonna blow it when he was telling Suzanne about Huel and going on and on about the fire and how he was a hero. And Suzanne asks about, what happened to the church, that it burned down. And when Jimmy says the church is fine, he actually loses his accent. It very much sounds like Jimmy. At that point, I thought, oh, wow, Jimmy's going to blow this whole thing. And there's a little part of me that feels like they still have to worry about this coming back and biting them on the ass. Suzanne really did not want to lose this case. She was very determined to win it. I'm not going to be surprised if Suzanne can't let this go and she continues to look into it. How do we know that Lalo is a significant character already? Because if we go back to Breaking Bad in the second season, to the episode titled Better Call Saul, it is the episode that introduces Saul Goodman to us. Jesse and Walt need to convince Saul to prevent Badger from talking to the DEA. Walt tries to bribe Saul at first, but Saul won't take the bribe, so they end up kidnapping him. And they take him to the desert and put him on his knees. And it's at this point that Saul mentions two names. He says, it was Ignacio, not me. And then he says, did Lalo send you? So from that conversation, we can presume that Saul and Nacho are going to be working together again, and they're going to be doing something that Lalo doesn't like. And this makes sense. We have seen Nacho rebel against his bosses twice already. He was going behind Tuco's back and selling the pharmaceuticals in the first season. He tried to kill Hector. So Nacho has not had the greatest relationship with the bosses that he has had so far, and we're going to continue to see a pattern of Nacho double-crossing his bosses. This is what was presented to us in this scene. Nacho has a big attitude towards Lalo right from the beginning. I mean, at first it could be that he didn't know who Lalo was, so he was being defensive when he first refused the food. But even when Lalo introduces himself, Nacho does not warm up at all. He's very frigid towards Lalo. Now, Lalo does say, "Don't worry about it. It will be like I'm not even here." But right after he says that, he walks out, and instead of sitting in the back table where the boss usually sits and remains quiet and kind of stays out of the affairs of the business that's being conducted, Lalo sat right at the table. So he does not actually plan on being quiet. He actually plans on being quite present and involved in everything. Now, I will be posting another in-depth analysis on the theme of the episode later in the week. At this point, I believe the theme is something like multiple or repeat. Not exactly sure yet. We did see a lot of repeating. Jimmy and Kim say that he's going to be back on Thursday, I think 4 times in the opening scene. But there was also multiple things, so I'm not exactly sure what the theme is, but I will get to the bottom of it and have a video up on it later in the week. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to like and share it if you did. If you want to be sure to see my video on the theme later in the week and all of the videos that I upload on Better Call Saul, go ahead, subscribe, ding the bell, and you will be notified every time I upload a video. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.